Hi. In the previous video, I showed you how to use Kami as a teacher to assign a PDF as a worksheet. So I'm going to show you what that looks like if you're a student. So I've signed in now as a student to my Google Classroom. Here I am in Miss Karin's class, but I'm actually in as a student. I used my Gmail, another Gmail account to create a student account. So here I am, and there's the assignment. So I'm going to open it up. And you can see that that assignment that we created earlier in the previous video, here's the assignment, but here's also the instructions on how to download Kami. Now, I already have Kami on my computer. You remember we did that. So, but let's pretend that I don't have it. I'm a student. I don't have it. So the very first thing the student is going to do is they're going to open this up and download Kami. Again, my recommendation to you is to remind the students that the first thing they need to do is learn how to do this first, download Kami on their account. So there it is. And there are the instructions. It's simple as you remember from the previous video. So once they've done that, then what they can do is they can go back to Google Classroom. Let's pretend they've downloaded it. Now they have the Kami extension in Google Chrome. Remind them they can only do it in Google Chrome. And then you're going to ask them to now complete the assignment. So it's so cool because Kami integrates beautifully with Google Classroom. So I'm going to open it. And there's that assignment. And do I want to open it with Kami? I absolutely do. So there we go. Okay, so check this out. Well, you have to wait for my very slow internet. Okay, so there's that assignment. All right. And just like in your Google Drive, it saves everything automatically for you, Kami does the same thing. So what we're going to do is, you see up here it says it's saved. Every few minutes or so, it's going to save what you're doing, and it might even prompt you to save. You'll see what I mean. But in the meantime, I'm a student, and I need to do this worksheet for my teacher. So the first thing is I see that I have to do, I'm not going to go over this exactly, but I have to do an addition problem. And the thing that you can do with addition is, actually, I'm going to disable something on here very quickly because I don't want this to do anything. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. So the very first thing that I want to do on this assignment is I want to do my work. I want to show my teacher that I know how to add. So I'm going to use the drawing tool. All right. And just make sure that the drawing transparency is all the way at the top, and also make sure that the stroke thickness isn't too thick. It's not too thin so that you can see it. I find 4 is pretty good, maybe even 2. Let's try 2. And I'm going to use hot pink. I'm going to use hot pink to draw. Okay, so I want to do this math problem. Please forgive my drawing skills. They're not very good. And I'm going to do it right here in the column. So I'm going to do, let's see. Oops, let's do 157 plus 40. All right, and it's an addition problem. So I'm just going to do that here. I didn't leave room to write the plus. I'll do it right here. Okay, 7 plus 0 is 7. 5 plus 4 is 9. And 100 plus 0 is 100. So my answer is 197. I'm showing my teacher I know how to add. Now, I can write the answer in here if I'm very good at drawing, which, I'll get better with time. So they have how many points now? So since it's fire team, I have to add 157 plus 197. I could show that work as well. Actually, no, they had 157 points and they won 40. So the answer is going to be 197. Now, what I could do too is to make it nice and neat is, instead of drawing it, I can use a text box. So I just click on T for text box. And again, I can pick the color that I like, any color I like. Let's do green for fun. And then I'm going to click in there, and it automatically creates a text box. Also, you want to make sure the font size is big enough. I like 24 on a worksheet like this because it shows up. And let's see what that looks like. Let's do it. Okay, 197, and there it is, nice and big. All right. the other thing that you can do is remember, wherever you click on text, you can put a text box anywhere on the paper as long as you click you have it highlighted on text, okay? If I want to do a subtraction, let's say I wanted to show subtraction on here, I can color, and I'm actually going to make the stroke a little bit bigger, and then let's say I want to subtract 50 from here just for fun. I want to show myself subtracting 50. Look at that. So I'm highlighting, I'm taking out 30, 40, and 50. So now I can see I have 130 left. So I've done this math problem the same way. So it's such a great way for kids to practice, and also it's fun for them because it's interactive. They're not just typing answers, they can also draw. So as you can see, this is an easy way, rather than having you create a PDF on slides and then having to create text boxes and the kids move the text boxes around. This is such an easier way to do it. The other thing that I want to show you is that there is something here called text to speech. So for our English language learners that might have a little bit of trouble with this, or our readers that aren't that very good, you can just highlight whatever you want them to read. And there's your text to speech. Sorry, I have this funny voice. Let's change the voice to Agnes. All right, let's try it again. There we go.
Fire team had 157 points. They had 140 more points.
So you can see it reads to them. It's not the best, but it still reads it out loud for them. And then the other thing that's really nice is there's a dictionary. So if you click on dictionary and then you click on the word, it gives you the definition of the word. There you go, like that. If you were doing a literature assignment, I know that this is a math assignment. If you're doing a literature assignment, for example, here's a very cool tool. It's called the markup tool, and there's a text highlighter. So let's say you ask the kids to say, which sentence tells me how many points the fire team won? You could say, this is the sentence here. They have won 40 more points, and they're highlighting it, right? Or you could say, tell me how many points each team won a week later. Highlight the answer, and there is right there. So you could set up a bunch of questions for the kids to answer in Google Classroom to see if they're actually following instructions on this worksheet. So that, the possibilities are endless. And if you don't like it, you can get rid of all of that by just clicking on it. All right. Anyway, I could spend forever showing you all the wonderful things that you can do with Kami in terms of marking up a text. And you can see that we've touched on it a little bit. Now, my assignment is done and I want to turn it into the teacher. Notice that it's been saving the whole time. So everything that I've done so far has been saved. All right. I don't have to save it. Now, this symbol here, this icon, we know is the save icon. Watch what happens when I click on it. Now, it tells me you have not submitted it. Do you want to submit it? Yes. Or do you just want to save it and work on it later? So you can do either one. I would like to turn it in, but you can see it's been saving everything. So when you save, it's saving. All right. And now I want to turn it into my teacher. So I just want to show you what that looks like. So see here, it says, it still says turn in my Google Classroom. Now we're going to go back to Kami and I'm going to turn it in. So we're going to wait a few seconds, maybe more than a few seconds because the internet is so slow. Okay, so it's done. Now, if I had set a due date on here, then I would not be able to unsubmit. But if you don't, if you've reached the due date, you won't be able to unsubmit. But if you want to make some changes, you can in fact unsubmit and click on unsubmit and then work on it some more. But let's pretend I'm done. I'm going to go back to my Google Classroom and see it's been turned in. So now the teachers received it and I'm good to go. All right, that's a really long video, but I hope it was very helpful. All right, good luck.